Okay? So find the critical value. Find out what makes it undefined. That's our first critical value, which was 0. And now solve the equation for the variable. Now I'm going to turn it over to you guys. All right? Get rid of the denominators. What's my common denominator? A, right? That's an easy one. A is my common denominator. So I multiply all 3 of these by A. This is exactly what we did on Wednesday, including the 2. Don't forget about that bad boy. All right, so help me out here. What am I going to be left with here? 2A minus A's are 3A. What? Minus 3, because the A's are going to cancel each other out. So minus 3 equals, A's cross each other out. I'm left with 5. I hope you guys can go from here now to solve for A. So 2A equals 8. My other critical value will be 4. So my critical values are 0 and 4. So is everyone okay on how I found the critical value of 0 and the critical value of 4? Yes, no, Olivia, you're right? Oh, I'm not done yet. Whoa, we're not done. Okay, this is the biggest part right here, just finding critical values. Okay, now here's what I need to do. I'm going to set up a mini number line with those critical values on it. Everyone remember their number line? Oh, get over yourself. 0 and 4. Because here's where my answers may be. My answers may be less than 0, between 0 and 4, maybe greater than 4, maybe greater than 4 and less than 0. I don't know. Okay, that's when the inequalities are going to come back now. Okay, how do I find out where my solution's going to be? We are going to test values now. All right, testing values. So what I need your help to do right now is, can somebody give me a value that's less than 0 that I can test? I know somebody just didn't say -0. Okay, let's test -1. Give me a number to test between 0 and 4. And somebody just gave me 5. Perfect. We are on a roll today. A roll today. 2. So let's test 2. Now I can test 5 if you'd like for a number outside of 4. And then we'll find out after testing where my answer should be. So is everybody ready? Let's test -1. Well, how do you test? You take -1, go back to the original inequality, plug it in. And this is why we have our graphing calculators, because what can I just do right now? Store, yep. So take -1, store it in for A right now. Take -1, store it in for A. Go to the left side. Do 2 minus 3 over A. So 2 minus, get your fraction template, 3 over A. And that will give you 5. Yes, everyone's getting 5? Okay, so ready? I go back. So is 5 greater than, do 5 over A now into your calculator, because you already have -1 stored. If you know what it is already, great. So what's your calculator getting back when it plugs in -1? -5. Ready? Is that a true statement? Is 5 greater than -5? Yes. So I'm just going to put a check mark, meaning some of my solutions are over here now. Because -1, this is a true statement. So some of my solutions are here. We got to check the rest. Go ahead, plug in 2. Let me know what happens. Plug in 2. Matt, go ahead. No, you flip it. You got to say -1 stored in for your variable. Okay? So now store in 2. Make sure you store in a new number. Store that in for A. And I don't know if you guys realize this or not, or have the calculators that can do it. When you store this new number in, you don't have to retype 2 minus 3A again. You can just literally go up. It's almost like a cut and paste. There you go. Highlight it. Enter. It'll bring it down for you already. That's save some keystrokes. So I get 1/2 there. So 1/2, is that greater than? Now go 5 over A. And you end up with 5/2. So you tell me, is 1/2 greater than 5/2? If you're I know some of you are like, turn it into a decimal. Is 0.5 greater than 2.5? Is that a true or a false statement? False, yes, false, false. Okay, so no numbers between 0 and 4 will be part of my solution. Do you see how we're going about this now? Now you have to test out 5, which shouldn't take you too long now. You just got to store it back in. So store 5 in for A. And I, again, can just go back up and highlight what I need. So that's going to be 7/2 on the left. Is 7/2 greater than? Let's see what I get when it's 5 over A. One. True statement? Seven halves is bigger than 1, correct? Dude, hey, I know we can laugh about this, but in all seriousness, just do 7/2. Or 7 over 5, 1.4. That's bigger than 1. So that will be part of our solution as well. So now we know where the solutions are. They're right here to the left of 0, and they're right here to the right of 4. Everyone's in agreement, yes? Is everyone okay? Now the last part is writing that answer mathematically for me. All right? So writing it correctly for me. There are 2 different ways that I want you to be aware of. Okay. One is as an inequality. And you should be pretty familiar from last year with this. Ready? The variable is A, right? So A, do you guys remember this at all? Such that? Okay, so we are familiar with it. Yes, no? Okay. We can whine about it later, all right? Or change classes. It's up to you. So A, tell me one thing you know about A. It's less than. A is less than 0. So A less than 0. But there's other solutions than that, right? Or A is, where else did we find out solutions? Greater than 4, yep. Let me know now because I got to show you a different way to write it. So here's the inequality notation. Questions, ladies? Or you could write it in interval notation. Here you go, interval notation. And I know this is the first one. Be uncomfortable. Here's the interval notation. One answer is anything less than 0 going all the way to negative infinity. Correct? Interval notation is brackets and parentheses. From last year, brackets and parentheses. Does it include 0? No, because there's not an or equal to there. Okay, does not include 0. So what we're going to do is 0 all the way to, where does it go to? 0 to negative infinity. And that's that upside down 8. So that's in interval notation. That's how I write everything less than 0, from 0 to negative infinity. There's also another answer, though, right? From 4 to positive infinity. And how do I write that now? Parentheses or brackets? Parentheses. 4, comma, positive infinity. Oh, and I'm missing something that there's a symbol that shows both of them. U for union? No? You guys aren't familiar with that? Okay, that's showing, well, I'm going to show you now. All right, that both are included. All right, both answers. It's like an or. It's like, here you go. It's the symbol here. Or, okay. That's a lot, huh? That was just the one problem. Take a quick breath right now. Anything you want to ask, because now I'm going to start calling on everybody. Anything you want to ask? Yes, go ahead, Olivia. We will use brackets if it includes the number, which I believe is coming up on the next one, yes. But again, do you see, Olivia, this had no or equal to attached to it, so automatically I know parentheses, open circles, okay? All right, let's turn it over to you guys. Here we go, critical values first, critical values. What's going to make this fraction undefined? There's only one fraction up there, so what could I plug in for k in that fraction that will make it equal to 0? What number can I plug in? -1 or 1? 1, yes. So one critical value on my number line is going to be 1. That's what makes that fraction undefined. Now solve it. Solve for k. That will tell me my other critical value. What do you want to do to solve it? Okay, there's two ways. There's a common denominator, which we've been doing, and I like to do that. Or you could cross multiply. You could do that too, but I'm going to stick with the common denominator because that's what I've been showing you guys. Okay, simple question. What is the common denominator? 1 minus k. Perfect. Here you go. 1 minus k. Multiply this one by 1 minus k. Multiply the 3 by 1 minus k. Okay, the 1 minus k's are gone on the left side, so you're just left with 4. Let's keep this show going. Equals just anything to cross out on here. Nope. There's no denominator, right? So you're not crossing anything out, but you are distributing that k. So k minus k squared. Is there anything to cross out with the 3? Matt? Okay, ready? There's no denominator here. Like here, these win. There's nothing to cross out here. Well, it is over 1, but how long have you been in this class for? You're gonna get rid of those 1s? What is holding you back from crossing out those 1s other than my fist? That minus sign up there is connecting them. Okay, good. All right, you sure? Cross out the 1s. You see, same thing here, Matt? Correct. So I got to distribute plus 3 minus 3k. Okay, let's go. Combine your like terms. Solve for k for me. Combine your like terms. So let's see. I get negative k squared. What happens with the k's here? What am I left with? Minus 2k. And then what number am I left with? 3. What would be your next step here? Because I don't like it equal to 4. I usually like one side equal to 0. Now, I know it might be a pain, but I hate this. when it starts out with negative. So I'm just going to take all of it and move it over here. All right, not a big deal because I want that k squared to be positive, which means the negative 2k. And then when I move the 3 over, what are you left with? Plus 1. Go ahead. Factor it. Go ahead. What do you got? Could you bring over the 4? You could. You can negative 1 and then take out a negative. You could. Yes, you could. Yep. But just make sure that negative 1 now is not part of the answer. Okay, so don't set it equal or... This is an easy for you. Two numbers that multiply to 1 add to 2. 1 and 1. So there is only one solution here, and that is k equals negative 1. Okay, so there's your other critical value, negative 1. So now what we have to find is, okay, where though? In between 1 and negative 1, outside, where are my solutions? I get nervous asking you guys this, but what number would you like to test outside negative 1? Negative 2? Sure. In between? We got some comedians. And then outside of 1? And again, it's your call. Anything outside of 1 works. Okay, storing time. Here we go, storing. Let me know what happens. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. No, we never test the critical values. Always numbers in between or outside. So now is that a true statement? Is 4/3 greater than or equal to 1? What's 4/3 as a decimal? Well, not negative. You got 4/3 there. So just do 4 divided by 3. Bigger than 1? Yeah. So that's true. Okay. How are we doing? We doing all right with testing, finding the values? I see check marks in good spots here. I haven't put mine in yet because I want to find out from you guys. Good. Okay, guys, is 4/3 bigger than 1? Yes, it is. I won't ask you this. We know 4 is greater than 3. Negative 4 greater than 5? No. Okay, so let's talk where my solution is. Well, if I highlight it on my number line, we said everything here and everything here, right? So how can I write that first as an inequality? So I'll have k such that k, what do you want to tell me about it? Everything what? Okay, hold on. I'll put the less than 1 right now, but let's talk if I should put the or equal to. Okay, be careful here. Be careful. Can it be equal to 1? What was the problem with having it equal to 1? It made the fraction undefined. Do you see that? So it cannot be equal to 1. All right? So I know some of you guys are like, oh, I got the or equal to. It's got to be. No. It made the fraction undefined at 1, so it can't be 1. That's as far as I can go right there. Less than 1. What's up, Olivia? I know it's got the or equal to there, but can it be 1? No, why not? It makes the fraction, no, not 0, undefined. And you would get an error in your calculator if you tried to plug in 1 right now. Are we okay? What about interval notation? Everything less than 1, how do I write that? Definitely parentheses, right? Because I don't have the or equal to. What's going to go inside the parenthesis? What, comma, what? Look at my number line all the way down. Negative infinity to 1. Emma. Usually it'll be specified how to write it, but I just want you guys used to both in case it comes up. Okay. Usually this is the most popular one, but questions? All right, it's Matt, question? Okay. This is going to be somewhat hands-off for me. What happened to, there it is, down below. All right, here we go. First off, critical value. What makes it undefined? What's going to make any of the fractions undefined? What number should I plug in that's going to make it equal to 0? Actually, don't tell me. I got to start hearing from a lot more different people here. Get our numbers up here. What are we, 20? Okay, 18 here? 18. Of course not. How about 4? Okay, here we go, Austin. What makes that fraction, any of those 3 fractions undefined? X equals 2. Nice job. So 2 is definitely going to be on our number line as a critical value. So 2, let's find out other values. Solve it for X. What will X equal? Because that will be our other critical value. Common denominator time. Is there anything that repeats itself up there? Nope. So I probably have to put all 3 of them in my common denominator. Okay? I don't have anything that repeats. But when I put 3 and 4 in, what's it become? 12, right? So is everyone okay? Instead of putting a 3, a 4, and an x minus 2, can I just put 12? Everyone comfortable with that? All right, so go ahead and multiply everything by 12 times x minus 2. 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 Okay, one person only. Everything. You're going to go through each fraction with me here. Who's got 18? Nobody, right? Who's got 6? Okay, let's go, John. Ready? What's going to cross out first?
All right, so what's going to cross out is the 3, so it's going to be all 5.
Okay, so I'm left with a 4. Go ahead. Ready? Be careful now, because you have 4x and x minus 2. So let's make our life easier right here. Let's just do 4 times x. So 4x, and I still have to multiply it by? Okay, I'll leave that there for in a second. Next up, what cancels out? And what are you left with? And over here, that's three things, right? I got a 3, an x minus 2, and an x plus 1. Go ahead. Do you want to distribute the 3 to one of those at least? Go ahead. 3x plus 3, and then you still have to multiply it by. Okay, does everyone see that? It's a little crazy on that right side. John distributed the 3 to x plus 1 and got 3x plus 3. Still had to multiply it by the x minus 2. Go ahead, everyone. Go ahead. Do your arithmetic here. Let's see if we match. Just make sure we match. We're not copying what I have up there. Are we all up to this point? Because now I got to ask what happens next. Again, I just distributed the 4x minus 12, foiled here, combine my like terms. That's where I am. Okay, up here, next step. One side, got to make what? One side 21? Yep, go ahead, Carl. I did, okay, ready? I did 3x squared. Then I did 3x times negative 2. Negative 6x, 3x minus 6. Okay. Anybody have 21? Okay, ready to go? Make one side 0. So because I don't like negative x squareds, I'm going to take all this and move it to the left. Okay, x squared minus. Yep, move the 3x over, perfect. And then when I move the 6 over, factor it for me. 19, factor it. How about 16, factor it. 17, 21, back to 21. X. Okay, it's got to add to a negative 5, though. That would add to a positive 5, what you just gave me. That would be plus 6 if I multiplied them. You were right with the 6 and 1. You just had the wrong signs on it. There you go. So I have two more critical values, and what are they? 6 and, all right, here we go. So I have total 3 critical values right now I have to put on my number line. Here we go. 2, 6, and negative 1. So you're going to have to test how many total values here. Do you see how many values you have to test? Not 3 this time, 4. Yep, 4 values. You choose right now. Do you just want to test negative 2? 0? It's usually an easy one to test. Test, what do you want to test between 2 and 6? You got a couple choices. 4, you got it. And what about above 6? 7, 8, whatever floats your boat. Even numbers, that's fine. It's your call, guys. Doesn't matter what you test, you should get the same result. So go ahead. And if you don't like dealing with the fractions you're left over for, change them into decimals to see if it's true or not. Go back to the original inequality, remember? This is why the store key is unbelievable. Okay, we'll finish this up Monday. Try 8. I'm only asking for 4 problems tonight. All right, 4 problems. Try it out. You're noticing it's not the easiest. I'll go over however long it takes Monday.